Hello, I'm Fiona Keary from Style Liberation and founder of the Facebook group 35 Plus Where to Shop. And we help women 35 plus to create a wardrobe full of outfits that they absolutely love without having to start from scratch. And we do that through our face to face consultations, our virtual online consultations, as well as our online program, The Style Transformation, and our membership, The Super Stylers. Now, often when we hear people saying that they have nothing to wear, there are a couple of reasons for this. And one of them we covered last week when we talked about how to tackle your wardrobe without overwhelm. So often it's because there's so much in our wardrobes, it's busting at the seams, and we don't even know where to start. So what often happens is we've got all of this stuff, but we wear the same things over and over because we can't see everything that's in there. And we might have multiple sizes, different seasons, all of that sort of thing going on. Sometimes when we feel like we have nothing to wear, it's in relation to style personality where things have changed and moved on. And in both of these situations, sometimes it feels like it might be easier just to start from scratch, just close the door on it. And one of our first things that we think of is that we just need to go out shopping and buy new pieces. Well, I want to let you know that you don't have to start from scratch. You really, really don't. So, why don't you have to start from scratch? Well, I'll get into that in a moment, but what I want to share with you as well is in last week's video around tackling your wardrobe, you'll notice that we looked at items in your wardrobe and assessed them. And it is about making things easier for yourself. So, starting with a section at a time and then looking at each piece and assessing whether or not it meets those 5 questions. And let's see if I can remember them off the top of my head. That something is in good condition, that it works for you color wise, that it works for you style personality wise, that it fits, but also that you can wear it 3 different ways. Now, sometimes people get nervous when thinking about taking the first step in that sort of style transformation journey is that they are going to have to throw everything away and start from scratch. And they feel like they're going to have bags and bags of clothes that they have to get rid of. So if you did watch last week, and I'll put a link in the comments, so if you missed it, you can watch how to tackle your wardrobe without overwhelm, then you'll notice that we talked about the assessment, but being really kind to ourselves with it as well. And also, if we feel great in something, and even if it's not quite right and it doesn't quite tick our style profile, that's the time to put it in the play pile, which we're going to talk about in just a moment as well. So it's about how perhaps we can cheat in our wardrobe. But what I have to say is here's the reasons why you don't have to actually start from scratch. And one of the number one reasons is that there are actually gems in your wardrobe. Christy, Emma, and myself have never been to a wardrobe where we haven't found absolute gems in your wardrobe. And sometimes they're the unexpected things, like something that might feel a little bit boring. But once you start playing around with it, you can see how it's so integral to your wardrobe and can create lots and lots of options and outfits. I was lucky enough to be doing a wardrobe last week for a fabulous client. And we sometimes think that we have to have lots of clothes to create lots of outfits. But when you have some really great key pieces that you love, fit really well, perfect color for you, and then you start playing with the other things that you've got, all of a sudden, and I mean, we took so many photos of great outfits that she never would have thought to put together. But because she had time to play in her wardrobe, she could. So by sorting through your wardrobe, tackling your wardrobe one section at a time and going through that assessment process, it means that you can uncover those gems that are there and perhaps you haven't been using to their full potential. But here's another thing that you can actually cheat with color. So this is another example from one of our clients, and she's got this beautiful dress. So it's almost like a taupey khaki sort of stone color. The picture doesn't quite show you the color here, but it's not quite in her color palette. It is close to some of her neutral and core colors, but in terms of its contrast level and depth and things like that, it's a little bit off. So it's about cheating with color. So if you've got something in your wardrobe that you know isn't quite the right color for you, it might be too light, too dark, the wrong temperature, the wrong level of contrast for you, then there are ways to cheat. You don't just have to get rid of it. You can actually cheat with it, because who has, hundreds or thousands of dollars to go and start all over again? What we do say to people is, if once you go through your style transformation journey, once you go through your wardrobe revamp, what we're asking you to do is, when you do go out to buy new pieces to fill the gaps, that you do it with things that really do tick that style profile for you. So you can totally cheat with color. You can cheat with color through layering with colors that are the right colors for you. Or, for example, if you've got a jacket that's not quite the right color, wear the right color underneath. You can cheat with layering with accessories, so either scarves or jewelry, but you can also cheat with makeup. If something, for example, is a little bit heavy or makes you feel washed out, then what you can do is you can actually adjust your makeup, if you're someone who wears makeup, to counterbalance that. So, for example, for me, I have a child that thinks sleeping is actually optional, and often I find that I have some dark circles under my eyes. So, if I'm wearing something that isn't quite the right color, if it's too soft or it's too heavy for me, then that will come forward even more. So I know that if I'm going to choose to wear that color, then I'll need to put a little bit more concealer under the eyes to make that work. So that's a top tip just in terms of that. You can also cheat with the fit. And what I mean by that, it's not just about alterations, which you can see these are some of our top alterations that we often find will make a garment fit perfectly. So it can be about getting something altered so that it really is then tailor made to you. But it's also thinking about wearing something in a different way. An example I can give you is, I'm a triangle body shape. So for me, I need to create that width across the shoulder line and the bust line to balance out my hip line. So I'm smaller in the bust and shoulder line and then my hip line. So I generally take a smaller size on the top and a larger size on the bottom. And what we're always looking to do to create balance and harmony is to make the top half and the bottom half appear the same, or to make the top half appear wider than the bottom half. So, for example, for me, spaghetti straps in tops and dresses are by themselves are pretty much a no-go. However, if you've got something like that already in your wardrobe, then by layering it with a jacket, if you just want to show it as sort of like a cami or a tank underneath a jacket or a denim jacket or a cardigan or something like that, then that's perfect. That's how you save it. Likewise with dresses, you just know that you'd layer it either with a jacket or a cardigan, but you could also, especially if it's a summer dress, which it will be actually now that I've said that, but if you layer it with like a summer weight scarf, or you go for really big jewelry or earrings, that is enough to create that width or that focal point on the top half as well. So there's always ways to cheat with things that are perhaps not quite right. The only place I wouldn't cheat with items in your wardrobe, and you may want to move them on, is if the style personality isn't right. And we did talk about that last week. It's that alien effect where, no matter what you do with it or how you put it on or how you wear it, it just doesn't feel like you. So just be aware that you can play around a bit and change up garments to make them feel a little bit more like you. However, if that's really tricky and you're finding that really hard, it probably is way out of your style personality and it's time to move it on. So that's a couple of ways to cheat. But also, what's super, super important, and I mentioned this last week that we'd cover it this week, is that it's actually time to play in your wardrobe. So once you've gone through that assessment process, can you wear that item 3 different ways? And what I mean by that, it's not just dress it up and dress it down. So you can wear it 3 different ways in terms of context or dress code. So maybe you can wear it casual, smart casual, and bar wear, or maybe you can wear it for smart casual, smart business, or bar wear. So you can play around with it across contexts, but also think about how you can wear things across seasons. And it's one of the great challenges that we like to do for our super stylers is actually talk about how you can make things work across seasons. How do you make a summer dress work in autumn and sometimes even winter? How do you make something that is more springtime work in the depths of winter? So thinking about how you play with your clothes. We don't necessarily give ourselves that time and space to do that. And that is one of the key things that you want to do. So, this is an example of one of our gorgeous super stylers who was styling up a print skirt in 3 different ways. And you can see that she's got varying degrees of dress codes there as well. And if she wanted to go across seasons, she could actually pair up that skirt with a long pair of boots, put a roll neck or cowl neck jumper with it, with a coat over the top, and it would be amazing. It would totally, totally work. So, thinking about giving yourself that time to play in your wardrobe. So, a little bit of a top tip and some action to take. What do we want you to actually do? So, this weekend, what I'd love you to do is to choose one piece from your wardrobe and style it up at least 3 ways. At least 3 ways. If you can challenge yourself to do 4, 5, or even more. And the trickiest one that you might find to do is a dress, but let me tell you from experience with our super stylers, that is quite possible in terms of layering different contexts with heels or flats and things like that. You can absolutely do it. So choose one piece, and it needs to also include shoes and accessories. The next thing I want you to do is once you've taken or put together all of those outfits, I'd love you to take a photo, because that is a quick reminder. When you're busy in the morning and you have to get ready in a hurry, you don't have time to sort of think about it too much. You want to just be able to flick through and get some inspiration for what you're going to put together and what to wear. And it's a fun, creative exercise to do. But then there's actually something really important that I want you to do, and it's something that our super stylers really find very helpful with this exercise, and that is to identify the gaps. So, for example, if we go back to this slide here, for this particular super styler, she might realize, actually, if I do want this to cross seasons, I actually need a pair of perhaps tan or chocolate brown boots to do that. And actually, if I get those tan and chocolate brown boots, I'll be able to do that with this outfit. I'll be able to actually wear that dress in winter as well. And maybe I need a denim jacket as well to make this all work. So you can see by playing around your wardrobe, you'll identify some gaps that will not only create more with that particular piece and outfits, but do more across your entire wardrobe as well. So look, if you'd like to find out more, we're running a freestyle masterclass on the 16th and 17th of March. We're just putting it out there now so you can save the date and get it in your diary. Registrations will open in a few weeks, but we will be covering the 3 secrets to creating a wardrobe full of outfits that you absolutely love. And there's 3 key things that need to happen that most people don't think about when they are looking to revamp their wardrobe. So we would love to share that with you then. And I would love you to post some of your one-piece 3-way combinations as well in the comments below when you get to it. Can't wait to see them. Take care, everyone. Bye.